Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of biology. And of course today we are going into a new topic, and that is ecology. All right, I know that a lot of you have been waiting for this topic. All right, I will do our best to make sure that it's enjoyable and it's something that any question that you are being asked, okay, you'll be able to surmount it because you have the O3 Schools app and then you have watched this video. Okay, that's all you need to succeed in your exam. You just need to have the O3 Schools app. Go and check our testimonies last year. In fact, the numbers of 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, and 350 that were shared to me as testimony was awesome, and it made me very glad. It encouraged me to do more. All right, so please, you will not be left out. Okay, so please ensure you watch this video to the end. All right, do not forget that these tutorials, of course, this episode, these videos, all of them, the efforts are made by what O3 Schools application. All right, so we have the JAMB app, we have the WAEC app. WAEC is now going CBT, so you need the WAEC app more than ever. Okay, get both apps, start preparing on time. You'll see how far, in fact, you'll see how your study life will be transformed. Okay, so let us we'll talk about the app in a moment. Let us see a past question from the JAMB app. All right, this is a 2001 question, number 28. All right, it has been displayed on the screen right now. It says that the physical space occupied by an organism together with its functional role in the community can be described as A says niche, B says environment, C says habitat, D says biome. All right, so according to our strategy, we believe that once we have taught you, answering question will be the list of your problems. So we'll come back to this question and many more that we have sorted out using the question search feature on the app, a good feature designed to make you smash question after finishing a particular topic. All right, so please just stay put and make sure you download the application. Okay, go to Play Store, go to App Store. Okay, if you want it for your computer system, just message this number on WhatsApp. Okay, you'll get the app for the computer system. All right, so the app has everything you need to succeed in your exam. Okay, you can see the features being displayed right now. All the past questions for all the subjects are in the app, so you no need to go and buy past question outside. I've been carrying big paper books up and down. Likewise, we have what the question search feature, just the way we search for this question now. We just went to biology, a question search, then click on the subject we want, biology, search for ecology. All the question, anywhere that JAMB has set anything that relates to ecology before, from the beginning of JAMB till now, all the questions will come out for you to answer. Is that not wonderful? Okay, because it makes you to understand a topic more. After you have read a particular topic, you can now answer questions on it particularly. All right, likewise, it's a classroom feature. The classroom has lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus. The classroom also has JAMB syllabus, and in the classroom also, you can also create a study plan. What the study plan does is to create a timetable for you according to the number of subjects you want to study. Is that either for the WAEC own or for the JAMB own, all right? So it will create a timetable for you using the syllabus so that you can be able to use the classroom notes, okay, to study and then answer questions, all right? So the classroom is a bomb, okay? All the lecture notes, so you don't even need any textbook. It's also that saying, which textbook should I buy? Which textbook did you recommend for this? If you have this video, you have that app, you are good to go. Likewise, there's a mock challenge on the app, all right? We have the WAEC mock, we have the JAMB mock, okay? All students that are writing JAMB or WAEC come to the application to compete with each other. Every Saturday, all right, compete to win prizes. But the main reason for the challenge is not the prizes. It's for you to get used to JAMB or WAEC past questions. It's for you to get used to JAMB likely WAEC or JAMB likely questions or WAEC likely question. Is for you to familiarize yourself with how examiners set questions, and you'll be seeing your results released every Saturday, thereby making you to track how prepared you are per time for the exam. Please ensure you download the application immediately, all right? And there's an activation fee for the app, all right? So please check the app for the correct activation fee, all right? So if you download the app today, okay, just click on activate on the app, all right? So once you launch the app, click on activate. At the top, you will see where they wrote buy activation key. Click on that buy activation key. You will see the options for payment, either by transfer, okay, or by by online method, or you want to use your ATM card to pay. Any method is there. Just pay. You can use Google Pay also to pay. All right. So, however, make sure that once you have paid, you just one thing you should be very sure is that once you are paid, you get activation. You have nothing to worry about. All right. So just message this number on WhatsApp. Once you have paid, just send the receipt of the payment to this number on WhatsApp. Even if they don't reply immediately, even though it's 10 seconds later, they reply you, or 15 seconds, or 30 seconds later. But I just one thing you know that once you have paid, you get activated. And the activation fee is usually less than the price of rice and chicken in a good restaurant. Okay. So if you go to a good restaurant and you say, Mama, give me rice and chicken, okay, there will be you what is much, much more than the activation fee. So something that you don't eat once and go to the toilet, and something that will make you succeed. Which do you prefer? Please make sure you made the right choice today. All right. So now let us go to ecology. Ecology. Now, in our primary schools, we're taught social studies, right? And what do you say social studies is? Okay. We say social studies is the study of man, okay, and it's what? And its environment, isn't it? Okay. So we did say what that social study is the study of man and its environment. Okay, but ecology is a more complicated but more interesting what topic. Okay, ecology is it has more coverage than social studies. All right, it's complicated somewhat, but it's very, very, very interesting. Now, ecology is gotten from two Greek words. Number one is oikos. All right, number two is logos. Okay, all right, logos or what and oikos. All right, so oikos. What does oikos mean? Oikos means what? Home. Oikos means house. Oikos means a dwelling place. Okay, or what? A place to live. A place to what? To live. Okay, that's what oikos is. Oikos means home. Oikos means house, dwelling place, or what? Place to live. While logos, on the other hand, means what? Study. It means what? Study or discourse. Okay, so ecology now, if you bring these two words together, okay, which is what derived from, okay, it means that what? Ecology is the word study or what? Discourse of what? Of the home. Or ecology is the study of what? Dwelling place. Or ecology is the study of what? House, okay? Or ecology is the study of a place to what? To a place where you live, okay? So a dwelling place. That is what ecology is in simple terms, all right? So literally, as we have said, we say that what? Ecology means the study of home. Literally, if you want to write, right? Literally, we say what? Ecology is the study of home. Okay, by this home that we're talking about here, we are referring to what? To habitat. Okay, that means to say referring to the natural habitat, to the natural habitat where organisms live. Okay, so that is what ecology is. Ecology is what? The study of what? Home. Okay, that home is there, or house. Okay, it's referring to what? To the natural habitat where an organisms live. Like, this is my ecology now. Okay, so this is where I stay right now. This is my present what? Ecology. Okay, this is where I function. This is where I teach. Okay, so you can call it what? Ecology. All right, but ecology has what? Apart from my habitat, this is my habitat, okay? So this is not like my ecology, okay? So ecology is the study of what? Of habitat, the study of what? Where you live, okay? It refers to what? To the natural habitat where organisms what? Live, all right? So you can also say that ecology is the interaction. Number two, you can say ecology is the interaction between living organisms and their non-living environment. Okay, so ecology can also be defined as the interaction between living organisms, okay, which is what? Me, and what? The what? And the non-living what? Environment that I find myself. Okay, so that is what? Ecology, right? The interaction between what? Living organisms and what? Their non-living what? Environment. Okay, in this my environment, I'm finding the board, I'm interacting with the board. Okay, I'm teaching using what? The board. Okay, so this is what? An ecology. All right, is the interaction between living organisms and their non-living environment. Also, you could say ecology is the biological study. Ecology is the biological study of the relationship between organisms, between organisms and its what? Environment. Okay, we can say that ecology is the biological study of the relationship between what? Organisms and what? Their environment, or and its what? Environment. Okay, the biological study of what? Relationship between organism and its environment. Likewise, we could say that what? The ecology means, okay, or is also called environmental biology. Okay, so ecology is also called what? Environmental biology. All right, so this the what? The study of what? Of living organisms and their what? And their environment. Okay, we are saying the biological study of the relationship between organisms and their environment. So that means that we can simply call what? Ecology what? Environmental what? Biology. So whenever we talk about ecology, there are two components. Okay, all right, we have the living component, and then we have what? The non-living what? Component. All right, so the living component are what? Is me, you and I. Okay, we're the living component. All right, all right. Yeah, you can have what? Other living component like plants. All right, you can have what is it called? You can have goats. You can have any other animal. All right, so whenever I talk about ecology, we talk about what? Two components. Living components. We have the living component. Okay, then how about the non-living component? Okay, now this living component is what? Are the living organisms, okay, that live around in the environment. While the non-living component is the what? The environment that we dwell in. All right, please take note of that. All right, so the living component is what? Is the living organisms, while the non-living component is the environment itself where we dwell in. Also, ecology is divided into two major groups. Okay, so ecology is divided into two major groups. One, we have the one we call horticulture, and then number two, we have one we call ecology. Okay, so ecology is divided into two major groups. Number one is what? Is horticulture, while the other one is what? Is ecology. Now, horticulture on the first hand, okay, is the study of what? Of a single organism. Okay, this is what? Study of what? A single organism or what? Species. Okay, in relation to its environment. Okay, so in horticulture we are considering only what? A single what? A single what? Organism. Okay, not organ, please. A single what? Organism or what? Species in relation to its what? Environment. Like example, we can study, let's say, cows and its environment. All right, goat and its environment. Can study maybe like how cactus plants, cactus plant now that's found in the desert. Okay, I'm going to show you cactus plant. Okay, so you can study what cactus plant and how what it survives in the desert. Okay, cactus plant and what its environment, even man and its what? Environment. Okay, so that is what horticulture, study of a single organism, okay, species in relation to its what? Environment. So it study individual what? Organism and how the what? They adapt to their what? To their environment. Okay, it studies individual organisms and how they adapt, okay, in their environment. All right, so that is what? Horticulture. Okay, the study of what? Of a single organism. Okay, is what? Is horticulture. Ecology, on the other hand, this with the study of interrelated okay, organisms in relation to their environment. Okay, so it's this is what the study of interrelated, okay, interrelated what? Organisms in relation to their what? To their environment. For example, if you have, let's say, you have man, you have lion or tiger, then you have goats, okay, in an environment, all right? So you are studying what? More than one organism, okay? All right, you can see it's different species, or you are studying a group of organisms, okay, in relation to the environment. That's when we now talk about sign ecology, okay? So sign ecology is what? This is what study of what? Of interrelated what? Organisms in relation to their environment. Interrelated organisms in relation to their environment. Like right now here, you know that we are very sure that a lion will go and find goat and eat it, isn't it? All right, and then man may what? May kill lion, or lion may what? May may deal with man, okay, because lion can deal with man, right? So the interrelationship between what? Organisms, a group of organisms, okay, in an environment is what we call sign ecology, all right? While ecology deals with the study of a single organism, sign ecology deals with what? The study of what? A group of what? Of organisms, okay, in relation to their environment. Now let us look at basic ecological concepts, okay? Let us go to basic ecological concepts. All right, so we have discovered that a lot of you do not support our enterprise, okay? All right, you do not like our videos, you do not subscribe to our channel, you do not share our video link to your friends and loved ones, which is very, very bad, all right? So please, if you want other students to succeed, okay, please ensure you like this video, all right? Like the video. Liking the video alone will make this video to be suggested to them. Many people are not aware that this channel exists. After some people, like 1 week to the exam or 1 month to the exam, they will not say, hey, I never knew that this kind of thing existed. Oh, please, liking the video will make it to be suggested to them. Whether you are watching from Facebook, whether you are watching from TikTok, or watching from YouTube, please click on the like button. If you are watching from YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on TikTok also. And also, ensure that what you copy the link of the video, share it to your class group, share it to your friends who are preparing for exam, share it to your loved ones, okay? Please ensure you are doing all of this, okay? And the Lord will bless you. Some of you are saying, for our family, we know the support person, okay, we know the library person pass. Please, that's very bad, it's a bad character. Okay, please ensure you copy the link, share it to your friends and loved ones. Let them all come and succeed. So we're looking at basic ecological concept now. Basic ecological concepts. Now, first among them is what? Is biosphere, okay? Biosphere. All right. And of course, if you were in your introduction to biology, okay, we're taught what? Where bio, okay, was gotten from. We say bio means what? Life. Okay, well, we say sphere means what? A place or location. All right, that's what was told. That's what we were taught about what biology. Okay, so biology is the study of what? Of life, because it's logos. Logos mean to study or what? Discuss. All right, so since biology is the study of life, all right, it means that what? Bio means what? Life. Okay, so biosphere now can be defined, okay, as a particular portion of the Earth's crust, okay, that is colonized by life, okay? So it is what? The portion of the Earth crust where what? Living organisms are found, all right? That is biosphere, okay? So you can also say that biosphere is the what now? Portion. It is the portion of the Earth's crust where living organisms live. Where living organisms live, okay? So that is what biosphere, all right? A particular portion of the Earth crust that is colonized by life, all right? Portion of the Earth crust where living organisms what? Live, all right? And also, you should know that what? Biosphere includes one, atmosphere, okay? We also have hydrosphere, okay? And then thirdly, we have lithosphere, number 3. Okay, so take note of that. So biosphere what? Includes what? The atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and what? And the lithosphere, where all life what? Exists, okay? Where all life exists, okay? So we have what? The atmosphere, the hydrosphere, and what? And the lithosphere, okay? So now let us begin with what? With the lithosphere to start with, okay? Let us begin with lithosphere. So what is the lithosphere? Lithosphere speaks about what? Something hard. Okay, just about something very, very hard. Okay, like what? Like rocks. Okay, like mountains, like hills. Okay, that is what lithosphere. So it's the portion of what? Of the earth crust that is colonized by what? By mountains, by rocks, by hills. So you can say that lithosphere is the portion of the earth, okay, of the earth crust that is what? Solid, or it is the solid portion. You can say that what is the solid portion of the Earth's crust. Okay, so you can define lithosphere as the solid portion of the Earth's crust. Okay, it is important to know that what lithosphere comprises of 30% of the Earth crust. Okay, lithosphere comprises 30% of the Earth's what crust. Okay, and that will take us to what? To hydrosphere. Okay, and when you hear hydro, you know that that's what we're talking about what? Water. So it's the portion of what? Of the earth crust that is colonized by water. Okay, this one is the portion of the earth's crust colonized by what? By water. All right, and know that what? That hydrosphere, okay, comprises of what? 70%. Okay, of what? Of the earth crust. Okay, 70% of what? Of the earth crust. So that is lithosphere, solid portion of the earth crust. Okay, where we find our rocks, our mountains, our hills. Okay, the solid portion of what? Of the earth crust comprises 30% of the earth crust. Hydrosphere, portion of the earth crust colonized by water, comprises 70% of the earth crust. Then lastly, now we'll not talk about what? The atmosphere. And what do you say the atmosphere is? You say the atmosphere is what? The portion of the what? Of the earth crust that is colonized by what? By gases. Okay, that is what? Atmosphere. All right, gaseous envelope that surround the earth, that is atmosphere. We call it the gaseous envelope that surrounds the earth. Okay, that is what? The atmosphere. And there's no way we can talk about atmosphere without talking about what? Air. Okay, without talking about air. And we know that what? Air is a what? It's a mixture. We know that air is a mixture of gases. Chemistry students, okay, you should know that very well. Okay, and these gases, there are so many gases what in the atmosphere. Okay, so the air is made up of many gases. We have nitrogen. Nitrogen is found there. We have oxygen, isn't it? We have carbon dioxide. All right. Then we have rare gases. All right. What do you still have? We have what? Dust particles. Okay. We also have water vapor. Water vapor. Okay. So these are all the stuff that are found what? In the what? In air. Okay. So now, nitrogen comprises of what? 78%. Okay, of what? Total constituent of air. Oxygen comprises of what? Of 21%. Okay, CO2 comprises of what? 0.03. The rest is for what? For the rare gases, dust particles, and what? And water vapor. Okay, now these rare gases, there are many in what? In the what? In air. Okay, for example, we have argon. Argon is the most abundant among what? The rare gases. The rare gases, we have argon, we have what? Neon, we have helium, we have what? Krypton. Okay, we have what? Xenon. Okay, all of these, they are all what? Concept of what? Of the rare gases. Okay, you have dust particles and what? Water vapor. All of them. Okay, takes what? The remaining what? The remaining percentage. Okay, so if you have what? Your earth like this as well, that's spherical in shape. Okay, about 78% is going to nitrogen. Okay, then about 21% is going to oxygen. Then you can have very small for what? For CO2, 0.03. The remaining ones are what? Are rare gases. They are what? The water vapor we'll talk about. And the what? The dust particles. Okay, so that is what about that. All right, and also you should take note that in the atmosphere there are about 5 major layers. Okay, let's look at what the layers in the atmosphere. The layers in the atmosphere. Please ensure you like this video. Please like it, subscribe to this channel, share the video link to your friends and loved ones, download the O3 Schools app, okay, and start preparing vigorously. Okay, so I'll talk about layers of the atmosphere. Now, the first one is what is the troposphere, okay? So we have the troposphere, okay? This troposphere is what is the lowest layer, okay? It's the lowest layer. The lowest what layer, okay? The troposphere. Then immediately after the troposphere, we now have the stratosphere, okay? Now the stratosphere, okay, is the one just what above what the troposphere, okay? So above, it's above the troposphere. Okay, they also have the mesosphere. 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 This mesosphere is cold, is the coldest layer, coldest, very cold. Coldest what layer. And then we have what the thermosphere. Thermosphere. This thermosphere, because from thermo, you know that what it has to do with heat, okay? This one is the hottest what layer. Hottest what layer, all right? It is the hottest layer, okay? It is the hottest layer, and this is due to what? Solar radiation. Due to solar radiation, okay? Then the outermost layer is the exosphere, okay? This one is the outermost layer, okay? Please take note of that. So the layers of the atmosphere, we have the troposphere, which is the lowest layer. We have the stratosphere, just above what the troposphere. We have the mesosphere, coldest layer. Thermosphere, hottest layer due to solar radiation. Exosphere, which is what the outermost layer, okay? All of them, they are arranged. They are arranged according to their distance away from the atmosphere, okay? So this is what the innermost. Then this one is just above it. This one is then above this one. This is above mesosphere. Exosphere is what is the outermost what layer. All right. So now, having seen that, let us now see another ecological concept. It is what? Habitat. All right. So you know what habitat is now, isn't it? Habitat is a place where what an organism lives, isn't it? So that is habitat. So number 3 now, Abby. Talk about habitat. Okay, we say the habitat is what? Is where an organism lives. Okay, and this habitat is divided into what? 3 types. Okay, we have the aquatic habitats. Okay, we have what? The terrestrial habitat. Then we have the arboreal habitat. Okay, so aquatic habitat are organisms that what? Live in what? They live on what? In water, okay? All right, those are what? Aquatic habitats. Then we have terrestrial, those that live in what? On land, okay? Then we have the arboreal, those ones that love flights, okay? Those ones that love try, they live on trees. They live on trees, okay? So those ones that what we call what? The arboreal what? Habitat, okay? Organisms that live on what? On trees, okay? That classify under what? Arboreal habitat, okay? Then we have terrestrial for what? For land. The aquatic for what? For water. Up next, we look at what? Ecological niche. Ecological niche, okay? All right, so number 4 now. Let's look at ecological niche. And you have to be very careful not to confuse habitat with ecological niche. That is why I've had to bring ecological niche immediately after habitat. Okay, do not confuse both of them. But I've said that habitat is a place, okay, where an organism lives, okay, or is where an organism lives. But ecological niche is not just where an organism lives alone, okay, but also the functional role carried out by the organism. Okay, so that is what we call ecological niche. Ecological niche. All right, so the functional role that is carried out by the organism, okay, in its habitat is what we call what? Ecological niche. Ecological niche. All right, it's different from what? From habitat. All right, so now it's important, for example, to know that, let's say we have what? A tree, for example. All right, we have a tree that has what? Many branches. Okay, they have branches like this. All right, they have branches like this. Then what? There's a bed here. Okay, there's a bed at the top of what? This tree that has what? That has what? A nest. Okay, So the bird on this tree that lives on this tree would build nest, isn't it? We build nest, okay, for the young ones, isn't it? Then we go around to build this nest, we go and find what stick, or maybe feed on what? On the plant leaves, okay, or on the part of the plant. All right. So now what all this function is carrying out on top of this tree, on top of this place where it's living, is the ecological niche. All right. Just like me, for example, your teacher now, Master T, all right, the great commander of the Old School Army. Okay. So now this is my habitat. This is where I stay. All right. And what function am I carrying out? I'm teaching you. All right. So I'm teaching. So the function I'm carrying out, okay, makes it to be different from just being called my habitat. It's now what? An ecological niche. That's why I say ecological niche is not just a place where living organisms what live, okay, or where an organism is found, all right, but the functional role the organism is carrying out, all right, is what we call ecological niche. Up next, we'll look at population, okay? Let us now quickly see population. Please download the O3 Schools app. Download it now, okay? Download it now. Start preparing immediately. All right, so now let us look at number 5, population. And what is population? Population is the total number of what? Of organisms of the same species, okay? We say population is the total number of organisms of the same species living in a particular area, living in a particular area at a particular time. Okay, so that's what we call a population. Okay, the total number of organisms they have to be of the same species. Okay, they have to be of the same species. Okay, that are living, okay, in a particular area at a particular time is what we call what? Population. The total number of organisms, okay, of the same species. All right, of the same species. All right. So, for example, if you have what? A classroom now, for example, that has what? Both boys and girls. Okay. So you guys are of the same species, isn't it? Of the same species because what? You are both what? You are all humans. Okay. But by the time you now have, let's say, goats, all right, in the class with you, now have cow. All right. We now have what? Elephants in the class with you. Okay. So we're not talking about population again. Okay, that's not now population. We're not talking about what? Community. Okay, so that's what to talk about, community. So population itself, the total number of organisms of the same species living in a particular area at a particular time. Now let us now look at community. Community. And what do you say that community is? You say community is a combination of two or more species of what? Of organisms at a particular time. Okay, so for community, all right, like in the forest, for example, okay, you have what? You have lion, you have goats, you have antelope, you have lizard, you have trees, you have many things. Okay, so that's a community, a combination of two or more species of what? Organisms at a particular time. Okay, that is what? Community. All right, so can I also say it's a group of living organisms that are living in what? In a habitat. Okay, group of living organisms, group of living organisms that exist together in an habitat, okay, or in a habitat. All right, so that is what community, group of living organisms of what? Of different species, okay, that exist together in what? In a habitat. That is what? Community. Please take note of that. Okay, it's different for population. Population is total number of organisms of the same species living in a particular time, in a particular area at a particular time. Note that for population, okay, the population cannot exist without the concept of time. All right, it cannot exist. Population cannot exist without the concept of time. So you must be told, okay, that in, let's say, for example, in 1997, all right, there were 30 goats in this particular what area. All right, that is population. That is what population is. Or you can say in 2025 or in 2030 or 2070, there were what 100 goats here. Okay, or there were 100 human beings here. Okay, that is what population. All right, time is of the essence. Okay, you must be able to what to put the time. All right, to it to tie the concept of time. In fact, we will not talk about population. Okay, so that's community combination of two or more species of organisms at a particular time, and it's a group of living organisms that exist together in a habitat. All right, now let us talk about what biomes. Biomes itself, we can also call community what a biome. All right, we can also call community biomes. All right, we're going to see biomes soon. Okay, so biomes is a large terrestrial community of organisms. It's a large terrestrial community of organisms. Okay, so that's what a biome. Biome is a large terrestrial community of what of organisms. All right. So now let us now quickly look at another concept, which is species. All right, species is the functional unit of ecology. Just know that without species, there will be no ecology. Please just know that without species, there is no ecology, there's no population, there's no community, there's nothing. Ecology, species rather, SPECIE, species is the functional unit of ecology. Okay, so what is species? Species is what? There are organisms or group of organisms, okay, that can what? Interbreed and bring up variable young ones. Okay, there are organisms or group of organisms that can interbreed, all right, and bring up variable young ones. Okay, so that's what we call what? Species. All right, they can interbreed. All right, they can, like for example, now I'm a male species. Okay, I can find a female species, interbreed with them, then we'll give birth to what? To young ones. Okay, and these young ones what will be what? Variable. They have the variation must be there. There must be differences. We cannot be 100% what? Identical. Okay, so there must be what? There must be small differences that are noticeable between me and my young ones. Okay, so that is what variation. Right, so species are organisms or group of organisms that can interbreed and bring up variable young ones very important. All right, so please take note of that. And species, like I said, is the functional unit of what? Of ecology. Without species, we're not talking about ecology at all. We're not talking about community, we're not talking about population, we're not talking about biome, we're not talking about anything. That's why I say that species is the what? Is the functional unit of what? Of ecology. Now let us look at components of an ecosystem. All right, components of an ecosystem. Components of an ecosystem. All right. So in an ecosystem, we have what we call biotic component or factor. They will now have what? The abiotic component, okay, or what? Factor. All right, so these are what the components of an ecosystem. All right, so the biotic component talk about what? The living components. All right, the living what? Components, okay, of an ecosystem. While what? The abiotic component talks about what? The non-living, like our environment, okay, non-living. All right, e.g. our environment. Okay, so that is what biotic and what an abiotic what component. Okay, we have the biotic component who comprises of what? Of the living component. Then we have the abiotic who comprises of what? Of the non-living components. Now, when we talk about abiotic components, okay, what comes to our mind is what? Is the environment. Okay, it is non-living, no, but it is very, very important. In fact, it is very, very, very. It is important to the what? To the survivor of what? Of the living what component. Okay, so that is what the environment is very, very fine. In fact, it determines what the functionality, determines what the movement of what living organisms, it determines how they will feed. Okay, it determines how they will breed. okay, and so on and so forth. So the environment is very, very, very important what component. Now, the biotic components in the ecosystem are what? We have producers, okay, we have what? Consumers, and then we have what? Decomposers. Okay, this one, they are the biotic what component, okay, biotic component in the what? In the ecosystem. For example, let's say we have grass, all right, then we have goats, all right, then we now have what? Man, all right. So now we have grass, we have goat, we have what? Man. Well, we have this is a food chain, okay? This is a food chain, it's a linear food chain. Okay, we're going to talk about food chain also, okay? In a later episode. Okay, see, this is what this is a linear food chain. There's a straight relationship between what this what organisms here. Now we refer to grass as the producer. You know that grass can manufacture its own food, isn't it? All right, it has what? It can photosynthesize. Okay, it is what? Autotrophic. All right. Sorry, pardon. It is autotrophic. Okay, so for that singular reason, it means that what? It can manufacture its own food. Okay, using the sunlight. Okay, using what? Every other thing. All right, that is what. So call grass a producer. Now, goat is a what? It's a consumer. The goat what? We eat the grass, okay? So it's a consumer, all right? So it's eating what? The grass. Because the goat cannot manufacture its own food, it is heterotrophic. Heterotrophic. Okay, it cannot what? Manufacture its own food. It has to depend on what? On the consumer to manufacture the what? The food for, or the producer rather, to manufacture the food for it. Then it will eat it. All right. So we refer to goat as a consumer, but in this case, we refer to goat as the what? As the primary consumer. All right. Refer to the goat as the primary consumer. All right. Then of course, we now have man. All right. Man, all right, is what? Is what? It's also what? A consumer. He feed on the goat. Okay. So for that singularizer, will come man, what? A secondary consumer. All right. So some of you now be asking, I'll talk about producer, I'll talk about consumer. What about the decomposers? All right. So, but do you know that one day man will die? Do you know that one day man will die? And then when the man dies, okay, buried in the ground, okay, and then what? Decomposers, all those organisms, earthworms, them, all of them, they will come and what? And feed on him, okay, and then what? They will decompose the man to serve as what? As manure for what? For this same grass again, okay. So this whole process will come back again, okay. The grass will not depend on what? Those decomposers to work on the man that have died, to now serve as manure for it to grow more grass, for goat to eat, for another man to what? To feed on goats, okay. So it continues like that. So organisms that carry out what? This decomposition what? Reaction, okay, that carry out decomposition reaction are the ones we refer to as what? The decomposers, okay, like for our bacteria, okay, bacteria, like our saprophytic what? Organisms, all right, and the rest, okay, to work on the man, all right, and then it will what? Form manure for the grass to grow again, for the goat to eat grass, then for man to eat goat, and so on and so forth, okay. So this is where we are going to stop today. In the next class, I'm going to be talking about abiotic factors, okay, and how we measure abiotic factors, okay. But before then, let us see questions. All right, so make sure you download the O3 Schools app, okay. In fact, it's everything you need. You do not have any single problem if you have the app. Now, this is 2000. All of them should become assignment for you because they have become very easy. They'll become assignment for you. All right, you'll see how easy they are. Now, this is a 2001 question, number 28. It says that the physical space occupied by an organism together with its functional role in the community can be described as what? So I talk about functional role now. A say niche, B say environment, C say habitat, D say biome. Tell me the answer in the comment section. 1994, number 31 says, use the list of ecological constituents below to answer the question below. 1, mango. 2, spear grass. 3, goat. 4, sheep. 5, temperature. 6, beans. 7, rock. B, water. 8, water rather. They say the physical factors are represented by, physical factors are what? They are the non-living factors, okay? All right, so they are the abiotic factors, okay? What is non-living there? Look for them. Select them and give me as the answer. 1994, Number 30 is the same question. Now they're asking us that items 1 to 4 can be regarded as what? A say population, B say community, C say an ecosystem, D say niche. Tell me the correct answer in the comment section. We also have 2023, number 7. They say which of the following best define ecology? A say the study of cells and their structure. B say the study of the Earth's physical features and geological processes. C say the study of how organisms interact with their environment and with each other. D say the study of the origins and evolution of life on Earth. Tell me the correct answer in the comment section. Last one, 2019, number 27. Ecology is best defined as the study of what? Another some of one will come and say, hey, they don't repeat any question, all right? So A say the characteristics of an environment, B say the interrelationship between living organisms and the environment, C say living organisms in a particular area, D say the habitat and wildlife. Tell me the correct answer in the comment section. Download the O3 Schools app, activate it, and start preparing now, all right? Like your future depends on it. I wish you all the best. I'll see you in the next class. We'll talk about abiotic factors.